It was a quite stunning win at Stamford Bridge for Brentford. Just before we go any further, what about Christian Eriksen? You ever seen anything like this?
It's a brilliant story.
What a story.
It just shows you how one player can lift a side, even if it's temporary.
Yeah.
He's added that bit of quality, the assists, the goals. I know the story behind it, but if you just break it down on a football level, someone who's got the courage to get on the ball, the courage to try and make things happen and lose the ball by risking it, by playing through balls, by playing crosses. Some of his assists have been phenomenal in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And he seems to have galvanised everybody. Now, you could argue they might have got some of these results without him. Fair play. We don't know. We'll never know. But it is a bit like when Fernandes came in at United on a different level. You know, when they were looking for a spark, someone just to reignite the season.
Yeah.
And he did that.
Is he as strong in his left as he is in his right? It would seem so. He can spray passes everywhere.
He reminds me very much of Lee Bowyer. Bowyer was one of the only players I ever played with.
That's a comparison.
No, in terms of the two-footedness.
Yeah.
Madison's actually got a really good left foot. You saw that cross at the weekend. But if you look at Eriksen's always been the same since he's been at top. This hasn't grown. He's always had a great left foot.
Yeah.
But Bowyer could do it. Bowyer, from when I was playing with Bow when he was younger, he used to take corners on either side with different feet. I've never seen that. Very rare. And Eriksen does. Eriksen can do it.
Yeah.
In fact, there was years ago, going back here, and I think I'll get this right, there was a German fullback called Andreas Bremer, who ended up taking a penalty with his right foot.
His right foot against Argentina
in
the
a
final.
World Cup final.
Yeah.
But Eriksen's very two-footed, and it's a wonderful gift to have.
Yeah. Do you think he'll stay with Brentford? Is it conceivable he'll be there next season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
I
hope so. I mean, there's no doubt about his quality. The thing, of course, the story is the recovery from this situation last summer. And the fact that Brentford brought him back, the clubs he were playing for wouldn't allow him to play, couldn't allow him to play. He's been brought back by Brentford. Of course, there's got to be some financial balance between what he's got and what he can get. But I do think there's also an element of, you allowed me to play, you gave me that chance. So there has to be a little bit of respect there. Two-way transaction. I hope so too.
I really do hope so, because going into this, Brentford were a run of 7 defeats in 8 games a month ago. It really is remarkable they did what they did. So they came away with Stamford Bridge with the result that everybody was talking about. Brentford go to Stamford Bridge and win 4-1. And then Thomas Tuchel, and we normally tune in and think, yeah, Thomas is on it. What he says, we listen to. Post-match, he said, well, there were a few reasons for this, and here's just a few of them.
We struggled in the beginning, but I felt us more like, I felt us more tired, not physically tired, but mentally tired, not fresh enough, which is normal. It was suddenly like, also yesterday we were like wearing gloves and everything was snowing during training. Today it was very, very warm. And again, it's more difficult for us than for them to play as an underdog and be well prepared for this match. We are also well prepared, but we are well prepared in one half a training session.
What's he talking about there?
Oh, nonsense. Nonsense. I mean, Brentford did it to him twice. Brentford gave him a really, really, really hard game earlier on in the season at their place. You know, you look at that performance from Brentford, you look at their two forwards, they ran Chelsea ragged. You know, Rudiger was at a stinker. I know he scored a worldie, but defensively he had a stinker. But
what about Tuchel there? I mean, he's lost the plot.
Well, he's allowed the
training the day before, and we were wearing gloves.
He kind of.
It was very cold the day before, but it was warm.
I'll let him off. Big fan of Tuchel. Generally very intelligent and articulate, and has done many good interviews where you listen and you go, wow, you know, he speaks well. He's a good leader. He says the right thing. He thinks about his answers.
He's talking about the weather.
I'll let him off the hook there with that one. He's allowed about, but yeah, that was nonsense. He is going through some off the field problems apparently as well, so we'll cut him some.
It's a moment in time. Chelsea had a game against West Brom last year where they got spanked 5-2. And they'll bounce back from this particular game. And if Tuchel's gone wandering off on some flight of fantasy about the reasons behind it, well, I think the balance of his work has been pretty much on the money, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you have to now think, Simon, Chelsea, and for all we thought, and I was one of them with you, that, you know, this could be Chelsea's year. Third's up for grabs.
Yeah, possibly, but I think Chelsea will recover from this particular result in the same way they recover from the hiding they got handed by West Brom last year, 5-2.
You won't want to play Chelsea next.
I don't think you want to play Chelsea next, and I think Real Madrid might find themselves on the end of a very different Chelsea midweek.
Do you think third's up for grabs, Danny?
No.
It's theirs?
Yep.
They got because Southampton this weekend.
Well, Tottenham have got some big games. They've got Arsenal. Tottenham have got to go Anfield as well. So they're not gonna win every game from now to the end of the season. That's not gonna happen. Arsenal have got some tough games, I think, including Chelsea, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So no, I think the gap's too big. Chelsea aren't going to go on a run of losing games.
No,
sometimes you get a kick up the backside. You know, it happens to the best of teams. I remember a few years ago, going way back, I'm just trying to think of some bizarre... Remember Liverpool losing 6 at Stoke? When I think that was near the end of Brendan's tenure. But big clubs, they do get bizarre results now and again. You're right, actually. The West Brom one at Stamford Bridge, wasn't it? The one you're talking about. It's just the pennies just dropped.
Yeah, but I don't think the gap's too big. If Arsenal win tonight, it goes to 2 points.
Yeah, but if buts and maybes.
Well, who's to say they don't go to Palace and win?
Well, they might, but they've still got to then go on keep winning games when Chelsea win.
Yeah,
and Arsenal I think they've got Chelsea to play. So
okay, just as Celtic going to Ibrox and winning yesterday was the story, Brentford, well done, going to Stamford Bridge and winning 4-1. Yeah, that's the story.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.